WFYI podcasts are brought to you by Visit Bloomington. With over 350 restaurants to choose from, Bloomington, Indiana is truly a food lover's paradise. Go to visitbloomington.com to discover what suits your taste.
What we're gonna do right here is go back, way back into time.
This is Butch Slaughter, and you're listening to the echoes of Indiana Avenue. Welcome to my neighborhood, the Avenue. I grew up here, and each week I'll be sharing the sounds and stories of the people that made the Avenue great.
Welcome back to the Avenue. This is the second episode in our three-part series exploring the major works of the late Pookie Johnson, a legendary Indiana Avenue jazz saxophonist. In last week's episode, we focused on Pookie's early recordings. Pookie recorded several dates with Wes Montgomery during the 1950s. Pookie would not return to the studio again until the 1980s. There are no commercial recordings of his work from the 1960s and 70s. During that time, he was raising a family and working for the United States Postal Service. He also maintained a busy schedule as a live performer, playing often at major events and nightclubs around Naptown. In 1983, Pookie was featured on a legendary double album titled Uncle Funkenstein. The project was led by the Indianapolis saxophonist and composer Russell Webster and featured an all-star cast of Naptown musicians, including Larry Ridley, Mel Ryan, Claude Sipperlin, Clifford Ratliff, James Spaulding, and more. The Uncle Funkenstein album has been called a holy grail of jazz, and original copies have sold for over $3,000. We'll hear a pair of tracks from Uncle Funkenstein now, featuring Pookie Johnson on tenor sax. Up first, we'll hear the album's title track, Uncle Funkenstein, followed by Blue Robe. That was Russell Webster's Uncle Funkenstein with Blue Robe, featuring Pookie Johnson on tenor sax. Let's listen to another classic track from the Uncle Funkenstein album. This is Together Again. Don't touch that dial. Echoes of Indiana Avenue will return with more music from Pookie Johnson after this short break.
This is Butch Slaughter, and you're listening to the Echoes of Indiana Avenue.
This is the second episode in our three-part series exploring the complete works of saxophonist Pookie Johnson, a legendary Indiana Avenue musician. In the first half of this week's show, we focused on Pookie's work on Russell Webster's 1983 album, Uncle Funkenstein. During that same year, Pookie and Russell Webster were featured in a historic concert at the Indianapolis Museum of Art. The event celebrated the museum's 100th anniversary, and the Indianapolis jazz pianist Steve Allee was commissioned to compose a work for this occasion. We'll hear a rare, unreleased recording from that concert now. This is Steve Allee with The Avenue, featuring Russell Webster and Pookie Johnson. That was Steve Allee with The Avenue, featuring Pookie Johnson on sax. That track was recorded live at the Indianapolis Museum of Art in 1983. Up next, we'll listen to another rare live recording featuring Pookie Johnson. In 2013, the Japanese label V-Vine issued an album of Billy Wooten's Latin Jazz Ensemble performing at the Madam Walker Theater. That recording featured many Naptown jazz legends, including Larry Clark, David Young, Carl Hines, Jonathan Wood, and Clifford Radcliffe. This is Billy Wooten's Latin Jazz Ensemble with Night in Tunisia. That was Billy Wooten's Latin Jazz Ensemble with Night in Tunisia, featuring Pookie Johnson on alto sax. That track was recorded live at the Madam Walker Theater. This is the second episode in our three-part series exploring the complete works of saxophonist Pookie Johnson. Up next, we'll listen to a pair of tracks from the Jimmy Cole Big Band's 1993 album, Say What? Pookie was a featured soloist in Jimmy Cole's Big Band for many years. We'll hear the tracks Third Bossa Nova and Ciara. That's all the time we have for this week. Thanks for tuning in to the second episode in our 3-part series exploring the complete works of Pookie Johnson. You can meet me here on the Avenue again next week, same time, same place. And you can find the Echoes of Indiana Avenue podcast on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, or wherever you download your podcast. Echoes of Indiana Avenue is written and produced by Kyle Long and hosted and co-produced by me, Herman Butch Slaughter.
Making sure that everything's just right. Gonna get my old tuxedo pressed. I'm gonna sew a